Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You guys like this intro, huh? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a mother. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye-ya. Bye-ya. Orale. As you can tell by that thumbnail, straight up, indubitably, there's a war. I see the war coming. It's coming around the bend. Orale. In a menudo style, in direct fashion, we're going to get straight into it. There's about to be a war, homes, in California. The California Department of Correction is gonna go to war. ¿Sabes qué? What's guerra? What does war mean? It means someone's getting fucked up. And in that fashion, straight up, to what degree of fucked up, I can't call it like an alcoholic, but it's gonna happen. Don't fight it. It's gonna happen, right? Just let it happen. You can't stop it. Okay? The war for general population. Okay, there's a fucking something brewing with the administration, and it's called the old school, the old Folsom setup, the old flip, right? They're trying to flip the state of California Department of Correction system to general population para todos, meaning there will be no more SNY, there's going to be no more dropout fucking yards, there's going to be none of that. It's going to be one whole thing called general population. Now, there's always been general population. Traditionally, GP are for those that carry themselves in with integrity, right? With fucking charisma, with a whole lot of gang orientation. And they follow the rules and directions of the politics administered by these prison organizations. Traditionally, that's just the way it's always been. Of course, SNYs that were developed in the 2000s were for vatos that were in bad standings. They done fell off. Of course, there's some chirujos, and they had a whole bunch of little beepity boo boobs. They had a whole bunch of J-cats and weirdos that were on those yards as well. Well, guess what, gente? I'm here to tell you, Sasuke, fuck that shit. Puta, they ain't happening no more. Okay? The administration is tired of SNY yards. I'm going to tell you why. Because all these little gangs that sprang from the ashes, Sasuke, the Northern Riders, the 2-5ers, the fucking Zapatistas, the independent whatever babosos, the fucking, the GBGs, you know, the ones that like to fucking hit it and quit it and stick it again. These fellas, right, felt that for no other reason, they still had that burning desire in them, and they formed cliques, gangs. Now it happens everywhere you go in society. There's always a gag or a group of people that get together in Sasuke. They want to be harder than others. They want to proclaim, this is my fucking land, Sasuke. This is my land. This ain't your land. You know what I mean? And they want to do their thing. That's cool. Do your thing. But at the end of the day, you don't run shit, homes. You know what I mean? I don't run shit. You don't run shit. None of us run shit. The eye in the sky runs todo, right? The guy with the gun is going to have the last say-so. Sasuke, he's going to do what he does, and you're going to feel what you feel. And that's it. The repercussions are felt. But what administration has been doing lately, and it's been all over you, I've touched on it several times, right, is the flip. The flip from all these different types of yards into just one main line, one general population. Now, general population is going to go back to the old schools. We're talking about 70s, 80s, pre-SNY, pre-protective housing units, pre-fucking transitional dropout units, pre all the bullshit, you know what I mean? Pre-cum. So, okay, it's before you bust one, you know, it's pre-cum. It's going to get down to all that. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty. It's being implemented as we speak. Today, yes, today, breaking news. I guarantee, and I don't even know if it's for real, but I know a bus has pulled up with some type of SNYers or some type of actives to a yard of the opposition, and it's going to go down. Now, what does this mean for gente that are incarcerated? This means war. This means a time to put up or shut up. This means everything that you've been preparing for in prison, everything that you've been talking about, Sasuke, it's time to get on the yellow brick road. Get on the yellow brick road and handle your business. Now, I'm not here to joke and play no games because I have a carnale that's actually locked up, incarcerated right now that's going to go through the same motions. But Sasuke, I'm not worried. I ain't never been worried about him. He'll handle his bizwax, right? The vato's down for his crown. No matter how sideways it leans, right? He'll just lean back like Fat Joe and do his thing. But trip out, there's a lot of gente that are ill-prepared, meaning they're unprepared. They don't know what it is. A lot of these vatos done got off the fucking bus. So I was going, which way do I go? Which way do I go? You had to hold their hands and direct them to their compa, to their building, right? A lot of these guys fell off before they fell in. So I was just like some good pussy, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm going to fall in that shit. That's how can you? You fell off before you even fell in, right? So I was they need to put their antennas, yo con un cucaracha, their antennas up and really identify where they're going because it can get ugly before it gets pretty. You know what I mean? You sure do got a pretty mouth. Oh, they're going to tell them all that. Okay, so what you have is a general population. This is the idealisms of the administration right now. They are tired. They are frustrated with all these little non-active, I don't even know what to call them, gangs that have sprung up that are basically strong-arming, extorting people, pushing their narrative, rocking their movement or whatever. And then, of course, you have the traditional active organizations or prison gangs that have always continued to do their thing. The struggle was real, man. Respects to them, vatos. At the same time, nobody's fucking good and nobody's bad. What it is just a whole bunch of gente that have different agendas. It's always been like that. Same thing for gangs on the streets. You're always going to have different barrios, and no two barrios are the same. They might dress the same, they might look the same, homes, but they don't think the same. You know, everyone's about their street, their calle, their fucking little tienda on the corner, their fucking, the jainitas that are in their shit. Well, you know how it is. We interchange. We intermingle when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Everybody fucking likes to eat at Arby's. If you don't, Sasuke, there's always Subway. You can eat fresh, right? I know in my hood, we used to fuck all the chicks from the north side, and the north side chicks and the vatos from the north side would fuck all the west side chicks. We used to be mad about that one, right? But it didn't matter. We ran through them anyways. So trip out. This is how it's going in prison. It's a battle for general population. See, they're going to deem these yards GP. All these chronos, and you get a chrono when you're the California Department of Corrections. Now, you can get soft shoe chronos, meaning you just can't go nowhere, Holmes, right? You can get fucking single cell chronos. You can get bottom tier chronos. There's all kinds of different chronos. Everything's a chrono. It's chronological, right? Everything's chronicles or chronicles. Orale, shout out to Cricket. Everything's chronos that you get. And this is in your G file, your C file. This is what's going to tell people in committee, people that are in this institution, that are the bigwigs, where you can and can't go. Well, guess what, Babosos? It's a new day. Oh, it's a new day. You can go everywhere. There is going to be no barriers. There's going to be no barricades. There's going to be no walls. There's going to be no keep separates. There's going to be no 1030s, no 812s. There's going to be none of that. What there's going to be is men. Men having to hold their own old school pinta style. You better be a pinto. You better step your game up. And pobrecito, they're going to have your head up your ass faster than a rabbit gets fucked. The ones that have never been anywhere, that have never been on general population yards, ones that have never been on main lines, you know, that have never walked tiras, yardas, fucking really did that and done that. Oh, man. Oh, you didn't know? You better ask somebody. They're in trouble. These vatos are in horrible trouble. Hey, it's going to get vicious. You know? Vicious. No. It's going to get vicious. I'm going to tell you why it's going to get vicious. Because you have these guys who have been on main lines dwelling in the lab 24/7, really getting it and really doing it and know the rules and regulations to being a convict. What it takes and how it takes, does that make sense? It does to me. How it takes and why it takes to go out there on the yards and maintain and do your time. See, ultimately, it's all about doing your tiempo. You do a crime, homie, you will do the time. You get sentenced to a certain element of time or a certain, you got to do it right. Baby, we can do it. Take your time, do it. Or can we? I don't know. One never knows, does one. In a menudo style, you better learn quickly. There's a lot of vatos that fell off before they even got on that bus. They were in the cop car like, I don't even know what the fuck. You know what I mean? But you got a huelga, so what does that mean? So that's because you have a tres on your, what does that mean? Okay? They don't even know what their tattoos mean. They're all taqueated down. And then, of course, they don't want to fucking do burpees. They don't want to fucking do this or they don't want to do that. Or they find themselves caught up in a situation. They might hit the linea for a week or two, but it's not for them. Did you see that? Did you fucking see that? That was, Charlie Street. Fuck that. Hey, is there any way that I could go to a yard where there's nothing but like chirujos and people that are not stabbing people? Simon, yeah, you can go over here. And then, of course, they get to the SNY yard. They think it's all good. Now they want to get more tacas and they want to join an SNY gang and they want to be the oppressor pushing up on people. Charlie, Holmes, it's not going to go down like that anymore. Now it's your time to really shine. Now is the time for you to find out exactly what it is to be the oppressed instead of the oppressor. It's over for you. Y pobreci. So what's happening is there's a term that's called general population. GP, right? And traditionally, GP has always been the vatos of righteous standings. You know, there's not everyone's a gang member. Not everyone's with that businessman, but vatos that just go in there and conduct themselves as such, conduct themselves with respect, humility, and know how to do tiempo. You know, when I was in there, bro, Sasuke, I just did my time, eh? Now, of course, I was a functioning ass norteño, so if anything posed a threat to the safety and security of my people or anything looked a little bit fishy, homie, fuck, what's happening? I'm trying to catch me a catfish, about to straight up. You know, I was with the business because I was forced to be with the business. But not only forced to be with the business, I wanted to, as a man, be with that business. You know, I didn't want to fucking be over there with some chirujos. Are you kidding me? That's good. I like my nalgas how they are. Straight up. There ain't nothing going in my hands but a pedazo. And a gun and a cell phone and sometimes a pack of frau. Bang, bang, right? Anyways, over there on the Missing Wires, I guess from what I hear, it's different, right? But we're not going to call that one like an alcoholic. We're just going to say fill it up with unleaded, pensa, diesel, y todo. Oh my. Look, it's changing now, okay? This has been something that the administration has been working on for a while now. It's not just something that happened overnight. They didn't just decide to take it before Congress or court and decide that for no other reason they're going to do this. This has been being implemented since they lost this case to several active inmates concerning the end of hostilities and being slammed back in the shoe. Once they lost that case, being the administration, they took it personal. They felt some type of way and they said, fuck you, eh? You know what I mean? We're going to get our get backs, or we're going to get our get backs Chicano style, right? And so what they did is they're starting to take it out on all the gente they feel, you know, are the vatos that are rowdy, the vatos that are really doing things. And they have an agenda. They have an agenda to basically slam everyone back in these shoes, re-implement the indeterminate shoe program. I mean, anyone that doesn't see it, clean your glasses, Holmes. You can see it. The writing is on the wall. It's written in blood. It's going to be written in sangre. Because they already know. They assume and they know, just like I know, just like you know, we all know that in prison, it's a different world. It's not like the guy is out here, you can get bopped daily, but in there, you can get smacked daily. You know what I mean? You can catch that metal to the motherfucking pedal. Toma. It's vicious. Okay, I've been on yards where it's just kicked back. Everyone's just doing their own thing. Ain't no one tripping. It's an easy breezy, beautiful cover girl day. You know, motherfuckers just on that yard, soaking the sun. They get back to their fucking room, you know, their cell, they buzz down, take your little bird baths, let's get you a little spread with your celly, hoop what you got to hoop, secure your shit, your bundle, and do a move into the next site. The next day, guess what? Stop and repeat, stop and repeat. It's going to be the same thing every day. Every once in a while, there'll be a removal, you see a vato fucking hang himself, whatever the case may be. Hey, so yeah, I was bored anyways. Bang, bang. But for the most part, it's redundant. It's redundancy in prison. It's going to be the same thing day after day. Well, this has changed everything up. Now everything's different. Now they're going to shake it up and break it up. Now it's time for the administration to break up the game. Hey, they paid for the game. You know what I mean? They couldn't do nothing, and they can't do nothing. Because each prisoner, each convict, each inmate is a man at the end of the day, or woman, depending upon how they fucking identify, right? And you got to carry your own weight. You got to do what you do as a person. You know, you can't let no one dictate your motherfucking program. I mean, motherfuckers can tell you what to do. So you might listen. But when they fucking turn around, you be doing what you do again. Straight orderly Debo. At the end of the day, they can't make a grown man do nothing he don't want to do. Okay? Now, they will throw you on another yarda. They will make you get on the bus. They will put you there. It's up to the convicts in whole to decide which route this goes. Okay, right now is the test of man. What is the test of man? You ask yourself, okay, well, just sit down. I'm going to give you some knowledge you can't get in college. Bang, bang. I'm going to give it to you and tell you what a test of man is. They're testing your ability to perform and they're testing your ability to act and think for yourself. And I'm talking to you about those that are incarcerated watching this. Like, I hate this J-Cat, but I watch him every day. This is what they're talking about. They want to see what's going to pop off. See, they automatically assume all the gente is going to get off on each other. And, you know, programs dictate, politics dictate, Sasuke, you can't walk yard with trash. Now, I understand that, Sasuke, I know. Even if I went back, Sasuke, I'm getting off where I'm at. R&R, fuck it, let's do this. Shit, you got me fucked up, right? I already know what time it is. But there's a lot of gente that don't. They're going to hit these yardas like, hey, Sasuke, is this another SM? Why, right? Why did you do that to me? Sasuke, because you came from them bad yardas. Okay, and it could go reverse. Is it worth it? Let me work it. They're going to strike that, whip it in reverse. Right? They can reverse that shit, and they can send actives like they have been doing to these SNY yards and allowing these SNYers, I call them SNYers, so let's get into they expire, to jump on these actives. It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing when people are getting hurt, but it's happening because the ultimate end game and the goal is general population. It's a fight for GP right now. Okay, it's going to be flipped. Okay, the California Department of Corrections is going to be flipped. They're flipping it right now to make one fucking type of yarda, period, which is general population. Now, who's going to have it? Who's going to be GP and who's not? See, let me tell you a story. I remember getting to Tracy. I think it was my first term in Tracy. And I remember that the Norteños, we're the dominant group there, man, being that our reception, the Vallejo reception, the valley, we're set deep in the motherfucker. The wind was blowing over there, right? On Peru, it was blowing. You know what I mean? I got the tapes. Anyways, just like the Hannah, she has the meats. I got the tapes. So anyways, we used to have free range, meaning we used to walk the hallways, their long corridors, to the yardas, to chow, to medical, and Norteños were able to walk freely con general population, Africanos, some white boys, you know what I mean, righteous homeboys, and we were able to walk. Of course, the Southsiders were segregated, not for their own protection, but for the fucking protection of the administration and for the prison. You know, they didn't want it to pop off because these vatos would get busy, and this is just the way it was. So I remember first 2 times in Tracy was all good in the hood. Everybody's mobbing. I come back the 3rd time, and now they got homeboys in restraints. They're being guided by hella placas around them. Shit changed. Dropouts became the majority. Non-actives became the majority. They were just mobbing around like it wasn't no thing. You know what I mean? I was like, God damn, you see how many rabbit ears are around? This is how it was going, right? This was the beginning of the end of the traditional general population mainline yards. Prison done changed. Okay, but this ain't nothing new, homes. This ain't nothing motherfucking new. See, back in the days, let's go 60s. Before the MF, before the NF, before all these different gangas, there was just pinteros, there was just pintos, there was just convicts, okay? Everyone had their own groups. You stuck to your race, it was along the color barrier lines. You stuck to your own gente, but at the end of the day, there wasn't really no gangs running anything. And then they started to implement gangs. And what happened? People started to get slammed back in the shoes. People started to get validated. They started creating more prisons, more dangerous prisons, segregating people by gangs, segregating people by the way they acted. Levels started to become implemented even worse than they were. 180s and fucking 270 buildings were built and walls were thrown in the middle and all kinds of different split tiers, programs. You get a fucking shower today, not tomorrow. There was a lot of things that were implemented for safety, right? So they say. But really, it was just a fucking way to control. It was a way to control the population and the masses. But see, it didn't work. Oh, no, it didn't work because they were able to turn it on them, right? They were able to... See, so I guess the never-ending story, like Sebastian, the never-ending story, oh. The shit will never end. It just changes. It identifies as something different. It's kind of like fucking Bruce Jenner. He identifies now as something different, right? So, okay, I don't know how that'd be like, but that's what he does. Anyways, people identify as something different. And what they're identifying now as fucking, as a little bit of everything. You don't know who's active, who's non-active. Remember back in our days, it used to be like, hey, homie, where you from? Homie, where you from? As soon as the gates crack, I'm taking one. And you best believe this. The brothers are strong, but the SA's the deepest, right? It used to be like that. Now it's not like that. Now the question they ask you first and foremost is, hey, are you active? You're non-active. These are the words that people are trained now to talk and to ask the questions because it's that bad. It's become that real where you don't know who's good and who's not. And who says who's good and who's not. Just because Abato's non-active doesn't mean he's not good. Just because Abato's active doesn't mean he's good. You know what I mean? He might be fucking the worst mierda in the world, but at the same time, he was able to wiggle and facilitate some type of fucking willings and dealings and able to walk on by. He skated, right? So that's just what it is. But I will tell you this. This battle for general population is going to happen. It's occurring. They're putting bulldogs on yards. They're putting general population inmates that are considered GP right now on yards that are with SNYers. They're flipping it. They're putting SNYers. So what's happening is people are going to get booked. People are going to get hurt until ultimately the administration says, you know what, enough. And they'll tell you who's the winner. You're not going to be able to dictate who wins and who doesn't. So I was getting prison, it doesn't work that way. And, hey, we did the most. We got this. Nah, it's not Charlie, bro. You know what I mean? In one day, they can flip that whole institution. They can pull all you active autos out, put you in a different place, and put all non-active. That's how they do it. Overnight celebrities. They'll change shit. So what you got to understand is this is a war right now for general population. Who is going to be deemed GP? That's what I'm waiting to see. So I'm kicking on back. And I'm speaking on it, but I ain't trying to go back and hear about it and feel it. No, I definitely ain't trying to feel that. Menudo. But it's gonna be a hard fought battle that's gonna carry out over years. It's not just something they're not gonna just decide after 2 months of fools getting hit that, oh, this was a bad mistake. They usually don't get down like that. Administration is gonna wait till there's bodies on top of bodies giving bodies piggyback rights till they finally decide, okay, so we don't fucked up right on Peru, we fucked up, right? Then maybe they'll take their pride and bite their fucking lip and their bottom lip and shiver and shake and then say, okay, we're going to change shit up. Until then, man, there's going to be a fight and a battle for GP. And it's unfortunate that those that are incarcerated just trying to do their time are going to have to go through it. And we're talking about active Norteños, active Southsiders, active Bulldogs, active whoever you are. So I'm active in a fanja. Whatever you're doing, more power to you and respects. But the war is, it's going to be, it's raging, homes. The war will be won and fought on the battlefield. And them yards are now becoming gladiator schools again, just like in the 70s and 80s. And it's a fucking sad sight to see. And me having family that's incarcerated and me being incarcerated all those years, I'm glad I miss this era. It's just ugly, you know. And for those of you that are sitting down there and you're doing crime every day and you think you're all big and bad, you don't even know where the fuck they're going to put you. Because we don't. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Anyways, with that being said, there is a fight for GOP brewing. And we're going to see how it all plays out. Like I said, at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. With that being said, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about striving for your familia. If you want to strive to be incarcerated and get involved in the battle, ¿sabes qué? Órale, ponle. There's plenty of room. I'm sure there is. You know what I mean? If not, they have gym living. Whatever the case may be. With that being said, if you like this spiel, please hit that like, that thumbs up, subscribe. There's a bell. You can touch it, lick it, pet it, groom it, whatever you want to do. I'd highly appreciate it so you can be notified of the spills that I do drop daily on Gunners Collective as well as Gunners Profiles where I get it in. What the size get? If not, you can hit that thumbs down. If you think I'm a J-Cat heavy as the head that wears the crown, I'm going to continue to do what I does, man. I'm wearing Golden State because I think they're going to win. And it's like the Puro Lakers. Bang, bang.